All right, so I just made, hands down, the suckiest thumbnail that I've ever made in the entirety of my time doing YouTube. I made some pretty crappy thumbnails, but I got the iPad, the camera turned up this way, which meant that the camera is right there, and it meant I normally have it turned the other way. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about a few different things. One of the questions I get asked about quite a lot is what am I watching now? What's in my watch pile? What have I discovered recently? That type of thing. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, hey chat, to make a video where I can show you some things that I'm watching right now, some things that I discovered, and we can go from there. We'll do a little bit more conversation on the vinegar syndrome, see how that's coming up, and I'll give you some little tips on choosing from there as well. So we got a lot of things. We're going to make it pretty free flow tonight, and hopefully that tends to be what you guys like. So we'll see how it goes and see how long this video goes on for. So what I got over here on my table are movies that I am watching or have in my watch pile to watch in like the near future. Now I'm doing a course, so because I've got schooling coming up in September, fingers crossed. So I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had to watch anything the last day or so. Fifth Chord, I think you're really going to enjoy that one. That's actually a really good movie. And if I'm correct, that's got some great features on it as well. Got my FOP cup today. So I got some MVD, some Vinegar Syndrome, some Indicator, some Kino, like a bunch of different companies to talk about. Now, before I do that, before I go ahead, I should let people know if they haven't seen it yet. So coming out from Kino Lorber is David Lynch's Lost Highway. And I'm sure some of you know this part already. But Tim Lucas on his Facebook page made an announcement. He did an extensive commentary for Lost Highway. There was going to be like a booklet there, and there's going to be like an hour-long interview as well. Now, Lynch, like certain other directors, has a thing in his contract which unfortunately blocks companies from putting features on his releases. Unless he's put the feature on there himself, he doesn't have features, commentaries, anything that on his releases. So poor Tim Lucas, after writing up and completing and taping a commentary for Lost Highway, is now found out that no fault of him, no fault of Kino, it's not going to be there. So no interviews, no commentaries, no nothing. Kino's going to have to put Lost Highway with the trailer. That's it. They're not allowed to put anything else onto that release. Now, I know this is going to get a lot of people upset, and understandably so. But just understand that it did not come from Kino. Kino actually put the time and the money, to pay Tim Lucas to do the commentary for free. Pay Tim Lucas and to do the commentary, but unfortunately, Lynch has blocked any features from going onto the on the disc. So for people that weren't aware of that or just hadn't found out yet, I thought before I got into the whole video, I should let you guys know. And I'll still pick up the disc because I'm a fan of the movie Lost Highway, and hopefully maybe through like Bandcamp or SoundCloud or something, maybe Tim Lucas can release his commentary, and for a couple dollars or something like that, and then I can just buy it and listen to it that way. It is a big drawback, that's the thing. But normally it's a drawback when I think of like, it is a drawback. But the company's put so much effort into this release. It'll be a shame if they get dinged, or because of the director. It is a film I like. It is a film that actually that I do like. My better half even, like she likes the film, so it is one that we'll get. But if Tim Lucas is puts the commentary out anyway, and he has the perfect right to do so, much like Riff Tracks can, then I'll keep an eye out for it. And if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know, especially if you're like fans of Last Highway or Kino or anything like that. And I'll keep you updated anyway. Anyway, so there you go. So that's a little bit like news, like a little bit of a downer, I guess, but it's good to know it before you go in, that the features that were previously announced in Lost Highway because of David Lynch, they can't be there anymore. Hey, John. I think there are, yeah. Now, the Criterion release features would have also had to go through, because I know there are, would have had to go through Lynch himself. Now, maybe Lynch feels that it's okay for Criterion, because of Criterion his, to have the features, but it's not okay for Kino to have the features. So take that as you will, because you made a good point. But Lynch, much like certain other directors, and I think you know who it is. Arrow did those Woody Allen sets, and obviously you weren't allowed to have features on those either, because certain directors can be like that. And this seems kind of like a cherry picking thing for Lynch. I'm not sure if it's about the money or it's about like what he thinks is the prestige for his films. I do like, hey, PlayStation 9, how's it going? I do like Kino as a company, and if it is this, to the kind of like him saying, well, I don't think this company can have features for their release of my film, but this other company can. I really don't like that. That's a really bad look on Lynch, and I'm a huge Lynch fan, so not a good thing. Anyway, I should get to show you guys, and feel free to ask any questions or make statements or just swerve the conversation in any way that you see fit, because it's going to be really boring if it's just me talking here. I'm not that interesting, trust me. Okay, so I've got a few things that I'm looking at right now, and maybe I'll start with the Kino stuff first. So right now, a couple of things that I'm watching are the Outer Limits season. Hey, and ready? Season 1 and 2 box set. Yeah, I know. He doesn't know for anybody. Oh, nice. See, these are great releases, and you can't just have one. You got to have them both. Both of these have excellent episodes on them, but even more so than that, there's talk about commentaries. There's a ton of commentaries on these releases, but even more so on the second set, there's a ton of features as well. So you got, this is the complete Outer Limits, the original series, and in the way that everybody should own it. The transfers on these are fantastic. There's just tons upon tons of commentaries when you get into the second season of the series. It's season 2, PlayStation. I know, basically, see, season 2 has 17 episodes, and this has, definitely a lot more. Actually, that's the reason I'm getting into this first, because I get asked about the Twilight Zone new series, so I'm gonna get that out of the way in a second lot now. But this has a ton of features on it. There's a 40-page booklet here, but this one here, feature-wise, I'll just go down through them really quick for you. Oh yeah, a ton of more special features. Yeah, and it's a shame because we need more. There's been articles and everything done on the commentaries being lost. Hey, Isaac, recently, and the commentaries, it's becoming a lost art. I actually even thought about just for fun, recording my own commentaries for a couple of films, and just doing it for myself, just for fun. And if it comes out really well, who knows? I'll put it free on YouTube or something like that. But Unknown, the alternate cut of the forms of things unknown, Please Stand By, an alternate cut of the Galaxy Being with audio commentary. Are you serious? You really got to see somewhere, man. It's a really good series. David J. Showtime interview. We got 12 TNT promos with people like Harlan Nelson. And what are some of the all-time best audio commentaries? I have to think about that one. What comes to mind for me right away? And everybody got their own favorites. Are things like, I know that Wim Friedkin on Narrow Margin I really, really liked. Anything with Sam Deegan or Kat Ellinger, I'm there. Kim Newman, I haven't seen him do a bad commentary. Same with Tim Lucas. I think he does fantastic commentaries. So it's not so much what my favorite commentaries are, but it's pretty much what my favorite commentators are. Our Limits was early 60s, yeah. Actually, if you enjoy Just the Discs, that Brian Sauer from Just the Discs actually has done a commentary on a film as well, which hopefully there'll be more of those. One of my dreams is to eventually do a commentary for some film. I'm not joking. That really is a dream of mine. I haven't delved into the Bergman set yet. I want to, and I keep taking it out, but I kind of want to have the time to really dive into it. That's the thing. I do recommend. Did you pick up Maximum Overdrive when it was put out by Vestron Video? Anybody pick that up? Hey Brian, I just mentioned you actually, because I got a crappy memory. You did commentary for a Blu Ray release, and I for the life of me cannot remember the name of that film. So let them know. Dark the Sun. Thank you. I knew it was dark. See, Brian knows my head has been like kind of frazzled the last couple of days. But yeah, I definitely check that out, guys. Yeah, though there's two commentaries on Maximum Overdrive. There's one that's done by the new MST3K guy, Jonah Ray, and that's not my favorite actually. It's so-so. It's more of a riffing commentary, which doesn't work so well. Eddie Miller does great commentaries actually. But there's one where the commentary isn't so much about Maximum Overdrive itself as it is about Stephen King films in general. So if you're interested in like Stephen King films, there's a great commentary by like a kind of Stephen King historian type thing. There's two of them on that disc, and it's really interesting. Basically, they go through like different ones that they talk about a time when one of them met Stephen King and did like did an essay at his college, right, his university. And he said so like they all told their interpretations of his films, of his stories, of his books and that. And so he did one on Children of the Corn. And he saw like an interview in Playboy like a few months later. And it was he's reading it, and all of a sudden says, and there's this one guy who talked about Children of the Corn and talked about it like it was a Vietnam allegory. He said, and I didn't mean anything like that when I put it out there. And he's like, hey, I'm not mentioned by name, but I'm in Playboy in a Stephen King interview. So he contacted Stephen King afterwards, and he said, I wouldn't mind interviewing you. He said, but here's the thing. He said, my criticism stands, because whether you meant it outrightly as a Vietnam allegory or not, once you put your art out into the public, then it's open to interpretation. It's a really interesting commentary, so it's on the Maximum Overdrive Vestron video disc. If you haven't picked that up, I do recommend it. It is a great disc, a really great transfer of the film. And I would say, yeah, definitely listen to that commentary once you get it. And it's a fun little film too. Yeah, you don't need somebody to riff Maximum Overdrive, but I actually found it a lot of fun, a lot more fun than when I originally saw it. I originally saw it in theater. Hey, Andy. I actually listened to Brian's latest podcast. I think I'll listen to your latest one now, which was a lot of fun and a lot of Tony Curtis, a lot of Tony Curtis jokes. Apparently, I have to buy the Manitou. I didn't realize I needed the Manitou. Yes, I didn't realize I needed the Manitou, but yep, I need the Manitou. I like that actually. It's kind of his thing. he did like the Cobra one with the Stallone, and he did like those thing, and now he did the Tony Curtis and a couple others. So it's really interesting. I look forward to those, by the way. And you sold me on the Manitou. Scream Factory's edition of the Manitou if you're not sold on buying that one yet, listen to the Just This commentary podcast on the Manitou, because I'm not going to lie, you're kind of going to want to buy it if you haven't already wanted to buy it, because I do, and I want to read the book series of the Manitou. Have you read the book series in already? Because I did not know this. I found this out from the podcast that the Manitou film had a series of books. So
Okay.
it's Just This podcast. Isaac, that's with Brian Sowers right here. Do I pronounce your last name right? Let me know. And I've been on it a couple times, actually. I've been lucky enough to be on it a couple times. And you get like Stephanie Crawford and Brendan. Is it Brendan? Brandon? So he gets a lot of people on there. Great commentaries, great comments, great podcast. You got to check it out. I got commentaries on the brain today. Brendan, thank you. I want to make sure I get it right. I hate getting people's names wrong, because you know me, I get them wrong all the time. You're on the... And Chris Cross, yeah. Yeah, Brian, if you can write the name of the podcast in the comments there, so that Isaac knows where to go for it. It's a really good one. Isaac, have you ever listened to the Pure Cinema podcast with Brian and Elric Kane, which is another fantastic podcast, especially if you're into things like Criterion and all that type of stuff, then yeah, you're going to want to listen to Just This. There we go. So, Showdown. I was speaking with Colette's earlier on, and hey, enjoy the Mickey D's, man. I was going to go out today, but I had to work. This one was actually recommended to me. I had this one bought, and I said, I got to watch this one sooner or later. Now, what's kind of neat about this one is this is kind of like the Karate Kid, but it's got like Billy Blanks as the Mr. Miyagi character. I'm not even joking. That's really a thing. Brian, if you don't have this, you've got to have it. And what's even neater about this, what's kind of cool, is that this has a feature-length making of documentary on it. So basically a look back at the film, a retrospective. And it's directed by the guy who directed the film, went to Coney Island on a mission from God, be back at 5. So apparently, not only have they rescued that film, which is fantastic, and by the way, I know it's got a weird title and a long title, and it's not a genre release, but if you have not picked up Went to Coney Island on a mission from God, be back at 5, I strongly recommend it. The director of that film directed the making of for Showdown. So the new kind of like look back, retrospective making of that they got done here, well, retrospective documentary, like a 90-minute documentary on the movie Showdown, which who would ever thought that this would ever get a documentary, but it did. It's Isaac. I know for sure you'll like that film. It stars John Cryer, and it actually is a really good film. So the director of that film directed the documentary on this one. I just thought it was neat. I got to watch this one. I'm trying to put it off as long as I can because my better half, she loves those type of films, so she wants to watch that one with me. And she's not going to be back probably for another 10 or 12 days, so that's going to be the worst part about it. Now, here's one that I've watched a lot of the features of, but actually I haven't watched the sequel film yet, which I got to do. But the thing is, I'm staying on my own for the next 10 or 12 days. So, is the When a Stranger Calls Second Sight Set really my best choice to watch? Maybe not. But I probably will. I at least want to... Yep, 10 or 12 days, dude. She's been gone for like 3 or 4 days now. But, yeah, she's in like a conference. And well, a couple of conferences, and there's some like big stuff going on in her workplace. She actually recently got like more... not so much a promotion, no, just funny games, or kind of like more responsibility in that, which is good. It's great. So I'm very proud of her, but I miss her a lot. But yeah, I'm probably gonna watch When a Stranger Calls Back. Probably not the best idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. A couple of these I took off the, you know why in a second. I took out the wraparounds because I find that they were getting, I was worried they're going to break. And I'll probably take them off of all of them and just like kind of put them inside somewhere or something like that, put them in one of the discs. But this is the William Castle set, Volume 1. Now, it was listening to Brian and Steph that actually sold me finally on this set. I'm really glad they did because it is amazing. There's a documentary on here on William Castle, and I've watched it now I'm going on 3 times. Hey, morning. So this is actually, it's really, really well done. I wasn't, see, but the features are incredible, 13 Wolfman. You mean the Ghost Vision, the Ghost Viewer. Because I always keep getting ripped off on the Ghost Viewer. That being said, I still wish, I stand by my statement that they should have included the Ghost Viewer on here. No, it's a really neat gimmick, and it's one of the ones that you could have put in there. If you guys haven't checked this out, it's fantastic. This was originally going to be like my kind of my Halloween thing, and I went with the Vinegar Syndrome, as you guys know. But it's got some great titles. The Tingler, which is a fantastic movie. 13 Ghosts, there's a lot of is fun. I might like the remake. 13 Ghosts better. I'm not even gonna lie. Homicidal, love that film. Oh, Indicator is such a fantastic label, and Mr. Sardonicus, which actually kind of freaks me out. But the Tingler is such The Tingler and Homicidal kind of like tie for my favorite two in this set. Now everyone in this set is great. But Sardonicus, I'm not gonna lie, I wimped out. I was wanting to put on Sardonicus to listen to the commentary, because there's a commentary here by Sam Deegan and Ket Ellinger, and you guys know I'm all about the commentary. But I said, if I wake up in the middle of the night and that damn smiley Mr. Sardonicus face is looking at me, I'm not gonna be a happy person. So I listened actually to the 13 Frightened Girls commentary instead. These are worth getting, man. They really are. The quality, the transfers are fantastic. Features are amazing. And if you got an interest in William Castle, then I think it's on, it might be on 13. It's on Tingler, 13 Ghosts. I think it's on 13 Ghosts. There's a documentary on William Castle. It's a feature-length documentary. It's a full feature-length documentary. I've been going through the features on these as I've been watching them. There's commentaries on, I think, all of these titles here. You got like some different like featurettes, and every one of them, if you've never gotten like an Indicator one, for instance, 13 Wolfman have their own like their books, and the books are usually pretty long. I talked you out of it. I know, I talked me out of it too, didn't I? Go for it, dude. I got my seat. I actually was lucky enough that I did see some of these films with the special features. I think, Isaac, that my longer videos, actually, I know actually, some people told me that they put them on when I used to pre-tape them, especially during cooking or working out. So I take that as a compliment. Oh, what did you pick up? Collector, Missing Footsteps in the Fog, Little Murders. Oh, your Easter is sorted. I'm waiting. I can't get anything else to the big sale. So this is the second set, and I knew I had to get this when I got the first one because I'm a completist. I'm OCD about my stuff. Now the films on this one are not as well known as the films on the first set. A couple of them are more comedic, actually. Actually, I would consider this a more comedic set overall. So you got like Zots on here, 13 Frightened Girls. It's pretty good, actually. The 13 Frightened Girls commentary is really good. That's Sam Deegan too, I think. Old Dark House and Straight Jacket. Now for me, Straight Jacket alone was worth it. I really like Straight Jacket. I listened to some stuff on here about Straight Jacket. Joan Crawford, she's quite the character. She really is. She is quite the character in this film, and in real life. I gotta get the last movie. Yeah, there are two, actually. There's William Castle at Columbia, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1, 13 Wolfman, has got more of the horror titles. Volume 2 has more of an eclectic mix of titles. So, since most people aren't familiar with Volume 2, as much... Now here, tell you what I do. I'll show you guys. Only two so far, yeah. There is the Tingler. I'll let you see the covers here, by the way. This is the first volume. 13 Ghosts, Homicidal. I love this movie, by the way. She does. And Mr. Sardonicus. So that's volume 1. That's the one that you're looking at before. Now, they put out a second volume. They got a lot of titles with Columbia, I guess, because they got their, that's what this is, the Columbia sets. So this is Zotz with Tom Poston. As you can see, not what you expect from like a William Castle, is it really? It's a really weird cover. Berserk is a good one. I gotta get Berserk, actually. It was high on my list. It's one of the more expensive ones to get from Indicator, unfortunately, especially around here. 13 Frightened Girls, which so you can probably watch this one with, I haven't seen it all, but you can probably watch this one with Raven if you want to. Brian, if she'd be interested in it. It's more of like a younger girls. And it's like kind of Nancy Drewish, kind of a spy, young girls on a trip type of thing. Yeah, exactly. The old dark house. And just look at these amazing, like the amazing art on these covers, the original artwork. And I haven't even like gone over and shown you like the other covers. That's not so much horror, but you might like it where the younger girls. Like it is basically it is. It's like 13 girls, and like one of the girls is kind of a Nancy Drewish type character where she, trying to stop spies and stuff like that. It's hard to say. Like that came out after. Hey, Movie Madness, you really have gone out all out with your videos, and I've liked them. I've liked them, by the way. I got a couple queued up for tonight. And Straight Jacket, which is super fun. I love this movie. I got to get Berserk too. Straight Jacket is like awesome. I'm a huge Joan Crawford fan. I know, about the Mommy Dearest stuff. Is it all true? I don't know. I was not there. But she was definitely a different person. She was a unique character. We'll put it at that. Also, from Indicator, because I'm looking through a few Indicator box sets right now. Keep it up, man, because I am enjoying your stuff. I can't believe you get all the Vestrons. I'm so jealous. Oh, the earlier Old Dark House came out from, was it Second Sight Eureka, one of those companies? Hey, Curie Glover, how's it going? Yeah, there's only a couple times when I can't do that, and I think you know what that is. One specifically, one horror director. So here, this is Samuel Fuller at Columbia, 1937, 1961. I love this set. I like Samuel Fuller a lot, and I like this so much actually that I had the Sony one. Oh, dude, I hope you feel better. Like, are you taking anything for it, like orange juice, meds, stuff like that? This is a great set. I love this set. Exactly. It's got like a bunch of films on here. So this is like, there's 3 on the first one. There's Inhabitant Hollywood, Venture in Sahara, and Power of the Press. Yeah, this is the time when you take your movies and you rest and you relax and you just like sit back. Because you deserve the relaxation. Shockproof and Scandal Sheet. There's really great films. And some of these here run like 60 minutes long or so. There's some great features on here though. Like, and they get like really, really in depth. We get the Crimson Kimono. This one is a great, if you don't have these, Cubic Lever, I recommend it. It's a great like one to go with the ones that you got. And Underworld USA, which is one that I really like. There's a ton of features on these things here. One of the biggest one was this, like the typewriter, the rifle, and the movie camera rushes tapes. So it is 212 minutes long, unedited footage, interview footage of Samuel Fuller in conversation with Tim Robbins. And if I'm correct, that's not the only one. That there's more of that. So there's 194 minutes of interviews on here. Ferris Bueller is a perfect sick day movie. And is there any on this one? And I think there's more on this one as well. Yeah, so there's like tons of interview. So Yeah, Isaac, they put out amazing editions. This Fuller set is incredible. I had the Sony one and it had basically nothing on it, like no features. But I love Samuel Fuller, so I definitely wanted those films. Now, what you should know is that Samuel Fuller only directed the last couple of those films. He wrote the rest. But don't let that dissuade you from actually getting the set. That's if you're a Samuel Fuller fan and you want to see the growth of Samuel Fuller to a director and the growth of him from writer to director, it is a great set to see. Now this is one that I'm also super proud of, and this is Samuel Fuller was also in a Larry Cohen film. Classic. Don't own any. I so far Movie Madness. I got all the box sets that they put out, and they put out some Hammer ones too. You might be more interested in those. So this is the Bud Boddicker set. This is with. Oh yeah, Return to Salem's Lot. He actually has a huge part in it. He's pretty much the other Fuller. The ones on that set, let me just are. Let's see, The Crimson Kimono, fantastic film with Fuller. The earlier ones were Shock Proof, Scandal Sheet, It Happened in Hollywood, Adventure in Sahara, and Par the Press. So this is the Boddicker set. Great stuff on this. I love Boddicker, and I'm a huge Randolph Scott fan. So of course it's got the Tall T, which is a great film, and not just the Tall T, this just on this side, but it's the Tall T and Decision at Sundown is on this disc. Buchanan Rides Alone, and what's the other one? No, Buchanan Rides Alone, yeah, and Ride Lonesome. So kind of go together there. Hey Stephanie, I just mentioned you a while back actually. And Comanche Station, yep, and just Comanche Station. That's 5 discs here. Slowly getting through these. It's taking a while, but the indicator sets are so worth it. I keep waiting for them to announce more, because I know there's two more of those Hammer ones coming, and I'm so stoked to get those. Tall T was fantastic. I wish I shared something with Randolph Scott. So, now for the weird ones. You've seen all the fancy ones, all the nice indicator ones. So now, let's look at some of the weirder stuff that I'm watching, or that I'm going to be watching really soon. Yeah, you know. Oh, nice. Halifax to Moncton. I'm getting into, when my better half comes back, we're actually taking a trip to Halifax. So I'm hoping to get at the Sunrise there, check out some stuff. The ultimate weird, yeah. It is so weird that I did not know that Michael Gingold was in this suit. So the guy from, that did Fangoria, stuff like that. He's actually in the suit. That's him. I love Vinegar Syndrome. I really do. If it wasn't obvious before. Also one that I picked up during my when I was due. I don't have the Hemispheres box set. My dad does though. At the time that was coming, I actually had to choose between the Hemisphere. I got like some money from my mom for my birthday. I had to choose. Let me know what you think of Bloody New Year. I really like that one. That's probably now my favorite one from Norman J. Warren. It is insane, but it is insane in all the right ways. So guys, if any of you have not seen Bloody New Year, which recently came out from Vinegar Syndrome, one, it's got one of their best covers in a while. Two, It is such a good release. Will I be getting the vinegar syndrome? Have more than likely. I mean, I'm probably not going to get like everything. I'm going to see. It depends on what comes out. I don't always grab everything when it comes to the mystery titles. I usually tend to get them later on. It depends on like how limited they are. I'm kind of bummed that I haven't yet picked up any of those. Like Vinegar Syndrome had this like short-lived kind of thing. Called like their sexploitation like series, right? Which looks like really, really good. And I haven't got any of them yet. So this time I said, well, I'm going to buy the 4 sexploitation ones. I know they canceled the sub-label that they were doing with those, but I wanted to get the ones that are out there. Unfortunately, only the first one ever that they put out, the Joe Sarno one, of course, sells out. So now that one I can't get because it wasn't like it was like limited and then they put out a standard edition. No, there was just a limited edition of those titles. There wasn't any standard to go out. So I still want to get the other ones that are in the collection, like the Andy Milligan and stuff like that. But I'm kind of bummed that I don't have the original one with the Joe Sarno's one, because I'm a fan of that director, and I should have been smart. I shouldn't have just like held off on it. So this one here, Wonder Women, which has a great cover, and I don't know anything about it. I don't think it's directed by Robert Vincent O'Neill. I found that from looking on back there. But looks like it's fun. A lot of features on here that I want to check out. It's good that he's in one of his own films. That's it. At this point, like you may joke, but not about the apocalyptic part. But part of what I'm doing now, because I know there is going to be, like, is it really? Oh no, I'm really gonna get that film. Part of the reason that I do this is I know for a lot of times, a lot of these things are going to go like streaming and all this type of stuff, and a lot of films are going to get lost. So my library is not just my library, but it's my archive for films that I don't want to get lost. Just like look at MVD Rewind's Abominable. It was on there was a review on the Sarah Midnight website. I mentioned it before, and you see how easy it is for a film to get lost. And that's a newer film, and that was almost completely lost. So it is just so easy for a film. Now these companies do such good jobs, so it is so easy to see films now like just disappear. When you think, well, silent films and they disappear and stuff, but no, yeah, when it comes in, like you see people like doing streaming and digital and stuff like that, and a lot of films, they're taking the most popular, they're taking like different stuff, but there's a lot of films that just, unless they get rescued by a company like Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow or Scream Factory, yeah, exactly, 9% of the silent films are gone. Then even modern day films can get lost. That's so the best you can do is hope, and the thing is, things can be taken out, things can be censored, race issues can happen. An actor or director may suddenly become less bankable or more controversial, and then that certain films may end up okay, we don't want to associate, so we'll just take that one out. That one will go. But yeah, so much stuff gets lost. Stormy Monday, I got this one up to watch this week. Oh, yes, I want. Why don't we have? See, that Blue Monkey is something I can see Vinegar Syndrome doing. It's perfect, Vinegar Syndrome. Exactly. You're preserving, Stephanie. You're preserving it. Stormy Monday. It's a fantastic little film. I haven't seen this one for years. I remember really liking it. So I'm going to rewatch this one. I bought it at a recent Arrow sale. Oh, you do need Blue Monkey. I remember seeing Blue Monkey back in VHS days. It's got such a weird cover with like these girls kind of running, and like there's this like huge like shadow of this like monster on the cover. If you can Google it, I think it's a Columbia cover or something like that. Yes, we curate. We are curators now. It's not an addiction. I've seen this movie many times. Your librarian mom would be thrilled. Right on. Your mom's a librarian? Okay, that's cool. I really do think librarians are cool. Creepshow. I've seen this one so many times, but I figure like with with him being out of town, maybe I'll get a chance like just to dive into the features and stuff like that. I did watch the documentary recently, the Just Desserts, I think it's called. Really good. I was disappointed it wasn't on here. Oh, they're gonna get people over to the streaming channel. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Is there roundtable discussion? I will listen to that. Oh, nice. See, I've always had like a deep respect for librarians because I was a huge book geek growing up, and I read all the time. I lived in an area where basically that's what you did. I'm from Newfoundland, so you went on dates, and you drank, and you read. Those were so that you didn't get into fights. That's what I did. So there. But yeah, one of my first crushes was librarian from my community. Actually, I remember that. I was so young. So Shadow Builder, Bram Stoker's an MVD one. I've been really impressed with the MVD stuff that I've watched. I mean, like just like quality, the titles that they choose. Like Bright Lights, Big City. Good movie, but probably one of the probably when Bright Light Big City is probably the weakest title out of the stuff that they've put out. That's pretty strong one. That's pretty strong. Here in Canada, unfortunately, right now, we've had some we've lost a lot of libraries, especially recently. We've lost a lot of our libraries, and it's a real shame. Libraries and small. What does MASH, The Sound of Music, and Patton have in common? Well, one of them I'm not a particularly big fan of. Exactly. Physical media always puts you in the driver's seat. You're in control. Doesn't that seem like it should be? They're all filmed like it should be. I'm guessing it's going to be something music-wise, right? That they're all going to be like part of like a PSA or something like that. So the only one I haven't gotten to watch from my Halloween Vinegar Syndrome bunch, and I keep saying I got to watch it, and I keep getting sidetracked by other things, is Death by Temptation. So I still haven't watched this one yet. This is one I haven't seen since the VHS era, so it's going to be interesting to check this one out. It was the one I was like kind of least interested in when they came out, but I've heard some really great stuff about it, so going to be interesting to check it out. So I got to switch this around. Why do I not have this cover switched around? It's not a very good cover. I will guide you. Oh, I will be the Moses of film. God, that would be so sad if you were guided by me. Not on your side, on my side. I do not feel qualified to guide anyone. So this is the alternate artwork for Death by Temptation. Honestly, it kind of sucks. First 3 films put out on VHS in North America. Oh, wow. Actually, I did not know that. I had no clue. That's a neat bit of trivia, though. Now I can use that on other people. So this is the alternate artwork, which is way better. And this looks like it's a commercial for a different world. I'm not going to lie, right now the Different World theme song is going through my head. Really? See, this is one I haven't seen in a long time. I'm hoping it'll stand up. Damn it, that really is going through my head. Also, one more from Vinegar Syndrome, which is a DVD. Yeah, I think Trauma, I'm pretty sure Trauma did the original production for this one. Yeah, you're right. Let me know, guys, if anyone else has the video cutting out on them. I've had some issues with wind and all that recently because we had some stormy weather. It seems to be pretty decent now. But hopefully it stays that way. Directed by James Bond III, yes. Here's one that I picked up a long time ago, and I watched it when I first got it. But for the life of me, I got to see it again. It's just one of those I got to watch. And that is Runaway Nightmare. So this is by Mike Cartel, who did Pets. And I do recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's weird. So I know Brian and Stephanie can tell you how odd this one is. You haven't picked this one up yet? Oh, no. Mike Cartel is actually a real guy. Back then, never heard of this one? Oh, let me read you the description on the back. I don't normally do this, but for this movie I will. After discovering a woman buried alive, 2 Death Valley worm farmers are kidnapped by an all-female cult of gunrunners who, after making the men into their sex slaves, force them to assist in a plan to steal a suitcase full of plutonium from the mafia. So yes, you have to get that film. So, Exploitation.tv was a short-lived streaming service from Vinegar Syndrome, though it wasn't what it was originally going to be called. Originally, when they put it out, it's going to go under the name Skinaflix. This is an advertisement for the channel. And it's really kind of neat to have this, actually. This was in this... so hopefully, it's a little bit of history that hopefully when you get it, it'll have that like Skinaflix like ad in there. I think that's really cool. Just me personally, it's just something to think is personally really cool. And last but not least in my watch pile, exactly a rare piece of film history now, is one from Vestron Video, which I mentioned earlier, the company, not this title, and that is the Warlock Collection. I haven't seen these for ages. And I got to get back in these. I got to watch them. I know Bruce Payne is in the third one, I think. But it's Julian Sands in the first 2. And I remember loving the first one. Because I think the first one, it's got Laurie Singer. And I was a huge fan. Being a guy, that wanted to act, the actor type, I used to watch a series called Fame. And I used to dream of going to like a school for the performing arts. I haven't even looked into this one yet, so I can't wait to see the features. And I always wanted to go to one of those performing arts schools. And Julie Singer played one of the characters. She was on my Google Doc list of girls that I had crushes on back then. That's where you got your handle from? It's from Warlock? It's a gorgeous looking cover too. I love the artwork on this. It's fantastic. Now I don't have unlike Movie Madness, I don't have all of the of these. If you want to see a complete collection video of this company, of Vestron Video, Movie Madness, it was his first video he put out, was a complete Vestron collection video. He's done a Vinegar Syndrome Slip one. He did a couple others now. So recommend it. But yeah, there's a lot. There's part 3 has a comment. Part 2 has a commentary. Yeah. Oh, I know part 1 does, Steve Meyer, but I didn't know part 2 did. So Anthony Hickox did part 2. And that means I gotta... Hey Drax, how's it going, man? So that's my watch list right now. There's a couple others that I just didn't bring down. Or maybe I just couldn't put them on camera. No, no, not really. There's just a couple others that I was just... I was like, this is a big enough pile for my watch list to show for a video now. Look, we got to the 50-minute mark and it didn't freeze up as of yet. They haven't. They're still working on some, aren't they? Like I don't think that they've stopped the Vestron titles. They tend to be. They sell well. I do think they're overpriced. The one good thing that I can say is, one bad thing is, yeah, I think they're definitely overpriced. Especially when you got companies like MVD who puts out similar type of product, but with posters, and they're way cheaper. And this. Well, the cool thing about this is that, like, these normally cost $30 or $40, sometimes more here in Canada, right, for one release, for a single release. Luckily, for some reason, if you pre-order these, usually from Amazon CA, oh, I need class of 1999. That is a great deal. It's the same price as if you bought, like, Parents or Class 1999 or Chud 2, right? All ones I don't have, by the way. It's the same. It was normally the same price. So I bought Warlock for the same price that I would have bought Parents for, and I got 3 films. So I always get the collections when they come out right away because I do find that they're no, Chud 2. I like Chud. Chud is actually really good. Chud's got the political allegory and all that type of stuff there. Chud 2 is just silly fun. So you're lucky to have Hamilton Books and that around there. I have very little, and if I want to support a physical like release place in my area, usually that means I'll pay more. But I will actually do that. Like if I go to Halifax, for instance, I'll go to Sunrise Records. I know that sometimes I'm going to pay a little bit more buying, but exactly from the company, like buying from Sunrise, as I would if I went online and looked for it on like Amazon or somewhere like that. But I want to see places like Sunrise Records and that stay around. Hypnotist, that sounds familiar. Swedish thriller. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish we weren't. I have no Blood Diner. I do have. Blood Diner was one of the ones that was for a long time was the cheapest one to get, and I think that's because a lot of people didn't know what Blood Diner was. So it was one of those where basically, everybody knew Return of the Living Dead 3 and all that. Like, you knew they were going to grab those. Does it bother me that I won't ever be able to see everything? You mean like, as in somebody's going to poke at my eyes, or is that I've got so many films that I may not be able to watch them all? Unlike some people, I actually look forward to semi-retirement so that I can actually dive into this. I would like to study film, like really, really study film. And it was finally, oh, okay. Stephanie reminded me. So I keep getting asked, the new Twilight Zone. What do I think the new Twilight Zone? Have I seen the new Twilight Zone? It pops up at least 2 or 3 times per stream. So finally, I relented and I finally went and watched it. So I watched the first 3 episodes of the new Twilight Zone series, and I like it. I've enjoyed it so far. My favorite episode, it's hard to say. I like the 3rd episode a lot. I like their twist on Nightmare at 30,000 feet. I kind of saw it coming though. Like I kind of really saw it coming. That was the thing. But it was neat the way they did it. They added in like the the real life, like the podcasting aspect of it. It still would have been neat to see like a creature. I do think that the episodes themselves could actually do with a bit of trimming. I think that the Twilight Zone series, that I don't mind the 40-minute, like 40, 50-minute long episodes. However, I do think that some of them would work better in a kind of a little bit more truncated. I think I would. But yeah, my favorite episode so far, the one that I thought like was really suspenseful, was that really like felt Twilight Zone-ish to me was the one with the camera. So I'm not sure what, and if anybody here is watching the show or if they've seen it. Uh, oh, that is nice. That's the thing. There's always stuff coming out. Well, if that's the thing, there's always something new coming out. But there's the whole basic behind it is that she's got an old movie camera from like her dad, like who's passed on, and when she rewinds the camera, she rewinds time. It's a really good episode, though. The last second of the episode, I'm not quite sure. Twilight Zone doesn't have to be as. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very different takes on things. Like Black Mirror. Like what I'm hoping is that with Twilight Zone, Rod Serling's Twilight Zone was meant to be obviously allegories. It was meant to talk a lot about like what was going on in the world, like politics, race relations, all that stuff. Oh, definitely. That's actually coming up in the near future. Those are upstairs. That's the ones I'm watching actually tonight. I'm binging those. Let Slash Studios know when I actually watch them, when I put the video up, because I'll let you know ahead of time. But yeah, so the Twilight Zone series looks to be really good. I'm enjoying it so far. There's 10 episodes in the first season. I would prefer a half-hour format or the hour format that they're doing, but everything else I've liked about it. Not recently. I got a couple of Troy Haworth ones. I got one from Justin Kurzweil, I think. But I don't read like a lot of like the periodicals and stuff. There's not a lot around here. I used to read, well, it's not a periodical or anything like that. I used to read a magazine, Shock Film Cinema, which has a lot of interviews in it with like different actors and stuff. And it doesn't not like modern actors so much, but like say like a Jordan Baker or Sybil Danning, that type of thing. I find that it's actually a very inexpensive magazine, but you definitely get your bang for your buck with it. I've read a lot of the horror ones, Rue Morgue and Fangoria and all that type of stuff. I've read the new Fangoria though. I hope it's. I saw I saw part of the recent like mini series, I guess you're going to call it, from Shudder. It was so-so, but the movie itself, I'm hoping is going to be done, be better done than that like short mini series was. There were like 7-minute episodes or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? But they're apparently doing like a full-length film. Yeah, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but well, you got to understand, it was only like 7-minute episodes. It was only ever meant to be a web show. Watch the movies first. I mean, like the movies are good. Like especially the first two are really good. I find them really good. Yeah, there's supposed to be a new Critters film. Now there was like a Critters, like you have to understand, there was a Critters. I think what happened is it got like waylaid a bit. So Critters was considered was going to be a TV series, right? And well, what's what we thought. And it was coming on Shudder, and it was going to be an exclusive. And I was really excited. A Critters TV series, I couldn't wait for it. I wonder if it's going to be like a half-hour format. It's going to be a 45-minute format. Is it going to be like going through? Is it going to be like an anthology type of thing? That wasn't quite the way it went. What it was actually was it was originally planned to be like a web series only. So the episodes weren't feature-length episodes, or they weren't done with a high budget. They were actually webisodes. So like say if you ever watched the series, what was it called now? Harper's Island. So Harper's Island was a short-lived series. Did one season, but it did a complete like show about a slasher. Really, really good show. If you haven't watched Harper's Island, watch it. But to complement the show, what they did were webisodes, where there'd be like short episodes that would come up on the, short mini episodes would come up on the web, like kind of like as a prequel series to the show itself. Now, the Critters episodes are not as well done as the short Harper's Island websites. I can tell you that right now. I appreciate the fact that Shudder got them, put them all together, and put them into a place where we could watch them. It's not like we're paying anything more to get them. But I wish they would have been a little bit more upfront about the fact that they were just webisodes. So, is Munchies your favorite then? I'm not quite sure if I'm reading that right. Critters was always one of my favorites. It really was. I'm weird. I like Critters. Maybe I like Critters more than Gremlins. Hey Jace, how's it going, man? Well, yeah, sort of. The people were not happy. Like definitely the actors on it weren't happy. What it's talked about basically is Swamp Thing is this series coming out from Warner Brothers streaming service. Okay, I did. I was going to tell. It was originally supposed to be 13 episodes. Unfortunately, the series got cut to 10 episodes. Now, some people are thinking that the reason that it got cut to 10 episodes, some people originally thought the series was going to be canceled before it even came out. I've got an even bigger one than that there, unfortunately, but you can't make videos that big. But they cut it down to 10, so they had to go back and refilm and rework the episode because he had like 13 episodes planned. The arc was planned. So obviously it's going to seem even more rushed. And it can't have the quality. I'm not sure though, that's the thing. If they were told ahead of time, right? Okay, you got 10 episodes instead of 13. And they were planned for that, right? Fantastic, because they can work 10 and 10 can be done and make it even tighter. But when you're told at the last minute, when you're getting ready to film your 10th episode, that this is going to be the last episode of the season. You're not going to have the funds to go 13. Your episode count has been shoved to 10. Then the showrunners already worked out a series for like full 13 episodes. And if it's a series that obviously for something like that is going to be a continuing series with ongoing threads and plot lines that have to work their way throughout. But yeah, they're gonna have to wrap it up quicker. And if they were told from the beginning, if they had a 13 episode run, and then somebody told them at the beginning of filming and stuff like that, oh, we can't do that, we're going to do 10 now, that would have been great, because they could have worked their way through it. They could have like weaved like plot lines a little bit faster, made things go a little bit snappier. But now they got to do it at the last minute. So they've got to take 3 episodes worth of stuff, 3 extra episodes worth of stuff, and put it along with what's normally supposed to be in that 10th episode, put it all in. So you got to tie up all those things, and that's never a good sign when it comes to making a show. But I'm going to be watching it. I love Swamp Thing. I grew up with the comics. I'm a fan. Actually, I think Steve Bissett was on a podcast recently, Movies That Made Us. And he's like the artist on the Alan Moore run of like Swamp Thing, which was if you read comics, Alan Moore's run is fantastic. You guys, who has seen the Neil Breen film here? I have to ask. Oh, have a great evening at work. I will let you know when that video comes up for the Slasher Studios. Aloha. I am so tired. I am without my better half, and that makes it harder. But yeah, I'm a huge Swamp Thing fan. You remember Bissett in person? He seems like he'd be so cool. I'm a huge fan of like Vertigo comics. I got like a few. that's the killer. TV shows that I got to go through. I'm watching Hotel and Equalizer right now, actually. Kind of back and forth every once in a while. Want to get some time. Comics. I got an idea. I'll be right there. Vertigo is one of my favorite labels, and I'm going to show you a couple that I got. I don't want that happening, because that's what kills me. Microphones. Haha. So, some comics selling, or graphic novels, I guess. Some Vertigo-ish stuff. So here's just a couple of different ones that I have. I didn't pick out like every one that I collect. So the first one's not Vertigo, but I think everybody should read, and that is Joe Hill's Lock and Key. If you've never checked this out, got to check this out. It's really, really good, and it's a fantastic one. Read Mania. Of course, everybody has read, more than likely, or The Sandman, which was a fantastic series, great art, and just one of our favorites here in the house. My better half, her favorite, I just picked one at random. This was number 15, for instance, and this is Fables. So, of course, Fables became, I guess, a little bit more famous when they did the video game of it. But for us Fables geeks, we've been reading this all the way through the war and all that type of stuff. You know, the war in the comic. Great artwork, fantastic. If you like Sandman, if you like the other stuff like that, you're going to love Fables. This is a one-shot, and it's one of my favorites to read, and that is Superman's Secret Identity. If you haven't read this, this may be one of my favorite Superman stories of all time. Hands down, definitely one of my favorite Superman stories of all time is Secret Identity. It's by Kurt Busiek, and it's different. It's a world where, you know, Superman's a kind of like a comic, and he happens to have the name. Oh yeah, forget the movie. Hellblazer is really good. And I just had to show these because I think these are really cool. I better have picked these up more at like a convention once. I haven't seen yet. I'm going to keep, I'm hoping it's going to be good. My film books. So I will actually. Well, this is actually kind of neat. So anybody here who's a fan of Sandman might like this. So Steph, if you like Sandman, you may get a kick out of it. So this is a Little Illness storybook. So this is Delirium, and it's not like a kid's book. It's Delirium's Party, but if you know Sandman, then you know that's kind of like... It is super, super cool. And I love the artwork in here. And there's another one. So there's two of these that I know of. And there's the Little Endless Storybook. Oh yeah, they're all the endless ones. So this one, and this, they're done by, was it Jill Thomas, right? Jill Thompson, yeah. Original sketches. And it's super cool. Like this one is like there's a little Morpheus right there. I just thought it's really interesting and really neat. And of course, I read Grimm's Fairy Tales comic too, which I didn't bring over here. But I used to read that one as well. That's okay. There's never any one topic, obviously. That's the reason I put this video with pretty much the blank thing of Watch Pile. Is that anything can happen at any time. And that's the thing about live. That's the thing about doing videos like this. Huh. Hope you guys didn't hurt your ears too much when my mic fell on the floor. Anyway, I soon have to get back to studying, unfortunately. I am doing some computer courses online to get ready to potentially go into school in September. Well, there was comic adaptation, right? Do I like Robert Crumb? He's an odd character, but I like his work. I love the documentary Crumb. Crumb is amazing. It's one of those documentaries. Why don't I have that in my collection? It's such a good documentary. I'm glad Crumb is like an artist and a writer, because if he wasn't, I'm sure he would be like a serial killer or a Unabomber or something like that. The dude definitely has some unique issues going on there. Yeah, no, that's what I need. I need the Criterion edition. But he's an interesting character. It's definitely a different documentary. I liked it a lot. I'm a big fan of Robert Crumb and stuff. I read, obviously, I went to college during like the time when the boom of comics was going on, and so I got to get into a lot of that stuff. But I would like, I got to get back more into comics, actually. Oh yeah, I like the American movie. That's the one where they're making that horror film, right? And they come off as unique individuals. It's always neat when you get like a documentary, Coven, that's the one, and you don't know what it's about when you go in. When I saw American movie, I had no idea what it was about. It was one of those that I got at the time. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. At a video store. I used to love going into like Blockbuster, going to like my local video store, and they'd have these racks of like films that they were selling, basically. So there's a few that I saw like that, and in the not funny category, but in the I had no idea what I was getting when I came in. I went to the video store one day and I picked up they had a bunch of movies there, and they had this like 2-disc edition that said "Capturing the Friedmans" and like documentary. So I didn't read the back or didn't like any. And so I said, that sounds like, it's 2 discs, a lot of special features, looks like it'd be interesting. So if you know the movie, you know where I'm going with this. So I decided, okay, yeah. Sometimes I like a documentary, sometimes it's nice and light especially. I'll go home. That I had a particularly hard week at like work and stuff like that. So I put in Capturing the Friedmans, expecting a nice light documentary, maybe the family or something like that. It was different than I expected. Yvonne Press, actually, I like Yvonne Press. I don't have any of their stuff, which I really wish I did. I went to my local comic shop and I asked for some of their stuff, actually, earlier on this week. They didn't have any in, which I was... Yeah, I saw like stuff for Maniac. That's the recent one, right? Because I know they also put out like for Zombie, the Default one. I love their artwork and I love their covers. Actually, Yvonne Press, I think I follow them on Twitter and follow them on Instagram too, I think. Because they have brilliant stuff. Just amazing stuff out there. They only sell, okay, there. Then I may have to buy online. Do they do packages? Because I think I watched an unboxing of an Yvonne Press, like somebody got some stuff from them. And he had like a comic, and he may have like a pin, I think, and something else with it as well. So I think they put out like packages, like on like collector's packs, or they used to anyway. That's when I saw online. They did Laser Blast. I love that movie. Really too. Yeah, There we go. I sound like a lot of ahs now, so I'm probably going to stop the video soon because I no longer have a topic. And I've gone through a lot of different ideas. Come in package sleeves. I got to check them out. Abound Press. They recently followed me back, actually. I'm always excited when somebody follows me back. I'm like a kid that way. I'm actually going to Abound Press now to check it there. Lucio Fulci Zombie, the sequel. The official sequel to the classic film is now on sale, featuring the return of Dr. I love the video game theme. I heard the video game theme. I saw the video game theme part, then I never saw the rest. Oh yeah, I would definitely buy these. Does anybody remember one? I think they're still around. It's kind of a zombie, not a zombie comic, sort of. Oh God, what's the name of it? Maybe you guys can help me. It's a horror comic, and it's when people get infected, they become. Oh, see you later, Isaac. Have a great evening, man. They become like the most inappropriate zombies you can think of. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's definitely it's not a kid's comic. It's definitely like an intense comic. There's like a lot of different stuff. There's like different like mini-series of this comic. Oh God, I wish I remember the name of it now. I'm sure one of you guys probably know it. But it's think like Walking Dead, but the zombies don't just eat you. They do lots of different things. There's one about like this kind of a serial killer. That's part of their group. Yeah, but they don't realize that he's because they're trying to get away from these infected. Cross, thank you so much. My favorite one is I'm not sure it's called Psychopath or anyway. So there's one like miniseries where there's these group of people and they're trying to get away from the Cross, the infected, and there's this guy who's like this really twisted serial killer that's amongst the group. And they're not aware of it. It's really, really cool. Though if you're easily like offended by or stuff, it's not for like it's definitely not for everybody. So just to let you know, my better half wouldn't even look at the covers of Issues Across that I used to have. But yeah, it was a different comic, not for the youngins. I'm guessing Warlock knows about it, but did you read it? Or did you read like my better half and said, I'm not reading that crap? Because we used to go to comic shops together. When I first met, we used to hang out, and we'd just basically, every, like once a week when the comics would come in, we'd go down and we'd go get our respective comics together. My better half, she used to get like Fables and like different Vertigo ones. I used to get a lot of the regular ones. But eventually we stopped getting, because I think maybe because of films and stuff like that, because we collect movies and that now, we don't collect so much when it comes to comics. That and like t-shirts and that. Like she got like a ton of like really cool geeky t-shirts recently. I mean like a box around this big came full. Like she got the, she got the, the Captain Marvel bomber jacket, the one for Captain Marvel, the brown one. So she got that. And she got like a couple Captain Marvel shirts and a Golden Girls one. And one with As You Wish from Princess Bride on it, which she says is the most romantic line of all time. And a few others actually, like a bunch of different stuff. She even got like a Captain Marvel like kind of dress, which was super cool. In my house, we revel in our geeky nerdiness. It's obviously there's a Harry Potter sorting hat behind me. If you guys eagle-eyed people can see that in the background. And a low-budget projector because we need it for Halloween. so that we could actually project like stuff on the windows. I'm not sure who does that, but we like doing that anyway. I had ones picked out first because you can buy them on this site, and they do a lot of different ones. And I picked out ones that I thought would be great Halloween ones, and I thought they'd be totally appropriate. But we bought them, and we bought like some like kind of tamer ones. But when I tried one of them on the window, I went outside and I said, "There's no way in hell I'm not going to give kids nightmares with these." So it was like from Trick or Treat. Who did the Frankenstein print? God, I don't know the artist's name actually. I was at a convention in Montreal, and I got one of Frankenstein. I also have one of the Mummy as well, and I got a hammer one that he did. The Frankenstein ones right here, or the other ones are, God, in some other places in the house. Not quite sure where. But I'm definitely a big geek when it comes to that stuff. Well, one more thing, I guess, before I go. So, if you have got it, then I recommend, when you're shopping for your Vinegar Syndrome stuff this time around, be ahead of the game and grab one of these here books, because it goes through all the different titles. It'll tell you like what's there, give you like the covers, give you like a little bit of the cast and synopsis and that type of thing. I really do like to go through these. And they put them into different categories as well. So I'm trying to make sure there's like okay, so you can see that's the Liquid Sky page, for instance. I know. See, that's what I say. See, my thing is Mr. Vincent, obviously, and they got to know. I mean, like, they have to know by now that there's somebody out there that's actually heavily promoting their work, that really likes the stuff that they do. How are you going, Warlock? I so want to be there. One of these days, I'll get the chance to go and I'll meet Vinegar Syndrome, and I'll take my iPad with me, and I'll bring my webpage, my YouTube channel. I'll be like, look at how many videos I've done on Vinegar Syndrome. Can I at least get a T-shirt? But no, I'd recommend it. This is definitely a good book to check out. This is the 2018 one. There's a 2017 one too. I got that here as well. But I always try to weave some, with the Vinegar Syndrome sale coming up, I was trying to weave some Vinegar Syndrome into my videos. But there we go. At 82 minutes, almost 83 minutes, this video has gone on a lot longer than I expected. I wonder if Criterion knows I do videos with them as well. Do I think Scream might do a Species collection? I'd like to see it. Okay. Warlock, tell them about my channel. If they don't know about it, and they tell them there's a channel there on YouTube that does massive amounts of videos on them, and buys a lot of their stuff, like a lot of their stuff. I'm hoping to have like a really epic Vinegar Syndrome haul from the sale. I keep going back and forth on what I'm getting. And when I make these videos, and I do like the little portion on each one about Vinegar Syndrome going up to the sale, I'm not only hopefully helping some of you guys decide what you want to get, but hopefully helping myself decide and having you guys help me decide what I should pick up as well. Because there's a lot of different ways to go with it. Like, a couple times I said, I'm going to just wait, see if there's, like say if the Peakorama's go on sale, I'm going to get a bunch of those, so I'm going to have a collection of them. Oh, but then I see, there's so many like the limited editions that I still have to get. And then I realized there's that Sexploitation series that they did that I do want. And then there's just some regular editions that I didn't pick up, like A Touch of Genie and the Hearse and Death Row Game Show, which is actually a really fun one for some reason. I still don't have that one. And I don't think I have Witch Trap either. Do I have Witch Trap? I got to check actually. I thought I had most of the Linnea Quigley stuff, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll make that into another video as well. I do want to talk about Roberta Findlay on here. in the near future, because I do think you guys should be looking into her when it comes to the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. And of course, Graydon Clark, who, if you listen to the podcast recently, then Wacko by Graydon Clark is the one that we talked about. But there's so many. Anyway, I'm getting distracted and you guys are getting bored. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys into like submission. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to do something a little different today. I guess I got to do that whole like YouTube-y thing. What's that again? So yeah, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, the likes definitely help out a lot, and the shares, and I guess what's the thing now? Hit the notification bell. That's what they say. Yeah, hit the notification bell. There you go. I always forget to say that stuff. But also, when this totally gets uploaded, I gotta get a better thumbnail. It is time for tea. I think I got them out. They're pretty good. But it is time for tea. Thanks for watching, guys. I am Aaron. You guys are the movie club, and you guys rock. Thanks for making it awesome. Just make sure you check out the channels of everybody that's on there, as well as checking out Brian Sauer's Just to This podcast and the podcast Pure Cinema. Make sure you check out Stephanie Crawford, all the writing that she does, and her and the podcast work that she does with Screamcast. She does a lot of podcasts, so definitely just go into like your podcast app and write in the name Stephanie Crawford. Trust me, you're going to see stuff come all over the place. I'm just lucky that two of my favorite podcasters actually come in here, and I'm not going to lie, I did geek out a bit that when that first happened, so that was kind of cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great evening, and watch a good movie, or better yet, watch a really fun bad